and tell people to like us and to join our Patreon because we're amazing.
No, Brenda, we can ask people to like us. We can't tell them.
No, they have to. It's a requirement now.
Oh, okay.
You have to like us.
And subscribe. Smash that like.
Nothing to see here.
Smash that like button.
Hit the,
Is that what you're titling? Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
hit the bell.
Slap that like button. Now.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash.
Do me a favor now and murder those comments.
Oh God, don't say murder.
Yeah.
Or goulash.
Unless you're Joe Rogan. But everyone's a murderer.
Oh, this is not going well.
All right, beautiful ones. Are y'all ready for this?
Yep.
No.
All right. Transition. Sweet Swoon. What is up? Let me go live on Facebook. There we go. What is up, Internet? It is your boy, Mikey Famine, with episode 39 of the Bin Podcast. And I am always joined by my lovely team of Avengers. Miss Brenna, how are you? And what you drinking on today?
I'm doing good. I'm drinking some green tea out of my Don't Drink and Fly mug, because that's what we drone pilots have to make sure we do. We cannot drink and fly, but it has the nice Halloween theme.
Oh, it was like shiny. I thought that was a flamingo. Okay.
No, it's a see.
Oh,
Don't
like the witch flies on the broom, and then there's the hat, and then the broom. Okay.
Gotta make sure you have your coffee in the morning.
And
true.
all the way furthest away from Brenna as possible due to government and global standards. Mr. Fat Thor himself, how are you, sir? And what are you drinking?
Oh, yeah. So, right now, I'm back on the Carlsberg, but I just had this very lovely base camp, which was fucking fantastic, by the way.
What kind of is it
you
beer?
should try-
What kind of beer is it?
It's a Pils lager from Fourpore Brewing Company.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Are they paying us?
It's a London-based beer.
Not yet.
Well,
No.
they better be paying us.
Hey, what's up, Kay, in the chat? Yes, Brenna is a drone pilot. She is that.
One of my pictures.
And
Our other drone is an X-Wing.
her other drone is an X-Wing. Stop yourself. Down in the bottom left corner, you know him, you love him. Shay Cortez at Soul Reaper 24. What up, my man?
I'm just enjoying the wonderful new look Garnier Fruit Tea Sleek and Shine anti-frizz serum because it's that season of the year.
You're trying to get rid of them frizzes, though.
I gotta be beautiful.
Can't have no frizzies. I hear you.
Done.
And then there's Wayne. Okay, guys, let's get the show started today.
Oh,
Oh, no,
I'm the
big,
juggernaut, bitch.
no, Big Driss Cumberbatch is in the building.
It's so true.
What's up, Wayne?
I
Just
love
wait.
that.
I have to go get something. I'll be
Oh,
right
no, sit down. Sit down.
Oh no!
My eyes, they burn. They burn.
Oh my god! I can't. After we told him not to, like.
You know what? I just realized something. He's got to
What?
come back. I'll wait till he
Yeah.
comes back and sits down. And
Yeah,
then...
let's not do that. That is not
Yeah.
necessary.
Look at Mikey using his powers.
Oh.
Good, finally.
Anyway, Big Driss Cumberbatch.
Turn off the mic. That's what they're doing for their debate. They're actually turning off the mic.
I'll bring you back in when you scoot all the way up to your desk, sir.
What are you on about?
See,
It's like
Mikey,
I've
now
done
you've
something
given him a
wrong.
thing. You've given him a thing now. Every now and then he's just going to stand up.
She's just gonna disrobe throughout the show because that's where he's at.
We are not that kind of a
Are you
Okay.
so I keep joking.
Tell that to Mikey and his other side project at deviants.com.
Anyway, I think we should seriously consider
Stop it.
doing like also broadcasting because it's free to broadcast to all these other sites. We should probably broadcast to like Pornhub and all the porn sites. We can broadcast to them
Well, I mean,
just
we
as easily as
can.
we can Twitch.
I'll give you the
We'll get
login to
some
my
viewers.
OnlyFans.
I'm just saying, or maybe OnlyFans. I don't know if OnlyFans has a streaming thing, but I'm saying if there's a platform,
Not that I know. Not that I know.
yeah,
I know you can. I know you can do those
You're a
kind of
liar.
porn websites through OBS. So
that's what I'm saying. We
they
can
can
go right
stream
through.
through. You can do anything
Brenna, how do you know?
How do you know?
because I'm a professional videographer.
Oh, she's a professional. Nice.
This is what I have to do with people. So please give me your money so that I don't have to be with these guys the entire.
How would people go about doing that? I wonder.
I don't
No,
know.
not yet. Not yet. Getting to.
I don't know.
Ah,
We can't
we
say
can
it
do
all.
two.
No, we say it too much. It's a little hacky.
Hmm.
First topic on the menu.
Wait. I'm just gonna change cameras.
Oh no!
no.
Oh no! He's probably got an
No,
extra. He's probably got an
don't do
extra camera down there.
I can't.
that. It's called a microscope, Mike.
The
Can't do
first topic on the menu today is Wave 2. So Wave 2.
Hey.
So that's a thing.
Good job,
now.
everybody.
So because we did not quarantine properly the first time, and now there are new cases of COVID popping up all over the place. And in places even like because me and Cortez are in Chicagoland, apparently someone rented out a giant like a meeting hall or something like that, like a hotel conference room, and they had a fake prom. All
So
the
this
Illinois
was
kids drove across the border in Indiana, had a fake prom, all got COVID, all drove home with COVID.
so this was done by one of the schools in very privileged areas in Illinois, and one of the things that they did was they're actually facing charges for this, by the way. So I'll expound it more in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wayne, if you had a chance to go back and do it all again, and you just want to really go to your senior prom, but you can't because there's a national pandemic, wouldn't you just rent that tuxedo and just drive across the border and go have a fake prom somewhere else?
Well, in my day, I'd be Reebok Classics, my Sonetti jeans, I'd be dreads. You know,
Was that on
With his vocal harmony group.
Yeah, is that the same period as the vocal harmony group?
A dangly earring.
up some white lightning outside, white lightning inside or outside the school hall.
He was the bad boy.
So in this
He
state,
had the dangly
there's been this
earring.
battle, man.
Why do you think I keep my sleeves rolled up? Just keep my cigarettes in there.
Yeah, there's been this battle in this state, and it's like, it's probably more than just this state, but I see that more often than anything else, where you have people who have no problem just tossing the mask on with the mild inconvenience of wearing one, and then you have the people who are strictly, I'm not wearing my mask, it's against my rights, and those are the ones that are causing these spikes because they refuse to just let it go. Like they think the government's trying to control them and that it's democratic hoax. And I hear this literally every day, whether I'm at work or whether I'm at home, just watching Facebook or just, turning on YouTube for a few minutes. And it's unavoidable. So for this wave 2 to be hitting this hard and people are mad, they've got a restaurant or pizza place opening up saying we're not shutting down, we're having business as usual. And they're talking about we have injunctions against the emperor and as a governor. And I'm like, don't you guys understand this by now? This is not them trying to stop you from enjoying your life. This is them trying to end the pandemic so you can go out and enjoy your life. And that's really what it comes down to. And if I was to tell you that a clown was going to perform surgery on you, or you could have a master surgeon who's been doing it for 25 years, and you chose the clown, I would think that you were insane. Yet we have millions of people continuing to choose the clown when it comes time to make things better. Because all these people didn't have to die. People did not continue to have to keep getting COVID. People would just listen. And I just don't get it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Now, with regards to your restrictions, are they state by state or county by county? I mean, how devolved is it?
It's county by county and then state by state. So the governor can overrule a county. But our governor, for example, has held each county responsible for their own measures because Illinois is not a spread out state. Illinois has pockets of density. And in those pockets of density, each individual county has to be able to judge what they should do in the situation. If they can't get it together, then our governor steps in. I don't know if it's like that in the other states, but I know it's like that in this one because of how awkward. Like in Illinois, you might have 30 square miles that have 3 million people. And then you might have 30 square miles that might have 5 people a little bit farther south. So it's a very, very weird environment. And that's why they have so many different municipalities and communities and counties making different rules. So if the county doesn't get it together, then the governor steps in and shuts everything down even more than what the county has done.
But the governor can't be overruled by the president.
No, he can't.
No, it's interesting because every week that we come on and we discuss these things, it's an education for myself and Jartan and the rest of the viewers outside of the States to see how such a vast country works. Because we live in, I mean, Jartan, where you live, is massive compared to our tiny little island, and yet we're messing things up all over the place. So it's really it's fascinating to hear from Americans like how it actually works on the ground, rather than just getting our stuff from the typical news outlets. Who's making that noise?
Brenna?
That's Jartan.
Cortez? That was weird. I don't know who it was, but it was somebody.
I don't know.
Well, I've got the same setup that I have every single week. So
there you go. You can.
Yeah, I actually think it was me. I think it was me.
Or you?
Well, I think it was you.
Yeah, no, I lowered the output on my mic a little bit and it disappeared.
Okay.
I think it was me.
That was weird. Anyway, Brenna, your thoughts on Wave 2? How's it gonna hit? You think it's coming for Cali?
I absolutely do. And because we are getting to the point where it's the second side of tourist season coming up. Because we had summer, which is tourist season, and then we'll have winter again in tourist season. And so there are these calls to open up places like Disneyland, which is a big tourist spot.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, that will cause a great giant wave. Because that's one of those places where other people from all around the world come to Disneyland and Disney World. And I believe Disney World is open to 25% or something because that's in Florida. But here they're calling for that over here because they want they want their employees to be paid, right? But this is the weird thing about something like Disneyland. Disneyland is a multi-billion-dollar company. They're not struggling. They got their stimulus checks, and then Bob Eisner, who is the CEO, left. He just took his golden parachute and left. And of course, like these calls for these corporations are not moral entities.
No. They
don't give two shits about their employees. What they want to do is they want to get rid of everybody and then hire hire part-time employees for cheap and not give them benefits, because Disneyland was one of these places that gave them benefits if you worked part-time. So now they can just totally rearrange their structure. So that's what's going to happen. It's hard to say. It's hard to say things like that because I know people who work for places like those amusement parks, but it's the reality of the situation. And California cannot handle any more cases. We are actually starting to go down in cases at a reasonable rate in which we could actually go back down if people wear their fucking masks. And we could actually go down to a point where we can actually go back to Disneyland. We can actually go out and tourist. But right now it's really difficult. And thinking about things like Disneyland, like Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
That's very difficult for most of us. I mean, Halloween's coming up and we still don't know what's going on in Halloween.
I was going to say, are you allowed to trick or treat? Knock on some random store. Hello, mate. Can I have some of your
Well, I
contaminated candy?
believe LA County, they actually won't allow that, but Orange County, we still haven't gotten any requirements for it. And I don't know if it's that our board of supervisors are Republican, assholes, or if they still don't know, and they don't really want to push it too much. But honestly, I believe that it's actually safer for children to be out wearing masks doing trick-or-treating safely than it is for them to be stuck inside with like parties. They're gonna party.
Yeah, like a Halloween party.
The parents are going to Halloween party.
Do you guys have any like local restrictions as to your movements, what you can do, who you can interact with?
So far, I have not seen any restrictions on Halloween itself. And here,
no, but I mean just in general.
Here, you must wear a mask in public places and in shops. Like those are the restrictions. There's really they're very loose. Like
that's pretty light fucking weight.
It's exactly. And we're actually one of the only cities in the county that really has stuck to that, where we started off that masks in public. Like if you're by the stores, you have to wear a mask. Residential areas you don't have to, but I do because I don't trust these people.
And it's funny. It's funny how far we've kind of slackened on everything, because I remember like in March I had to get like paperwork from work to carry in the car with me for driving around, because it's like, we're all on lockdown. You can't be driving around unless you're going to and from work, and you have to be an essential worker. Yeah. And then for probably a good 2 weeks, I didn't have any traffic getting to work at all. It was nice.
Now it's back to normal.
Man, about that third week, man, it was fucking people all over them intersections. I'm steady late to work because of construction and stupid shit. So I think everyone did it for 2 weeks, kind of ish, after they realized that there was nowhere to go and nothing to buy because they had bought everything in the shops and all the restaurants and bars were closed. But that was when we had the slowest amount of growth in the cases. As soon as they started opening up things, that's when the cases started going crazier and crazier and crazier.
And you see the numbers right at the beginning of like when all those restrictions started loosening up, June, July, where finally everybody was sick of being inside. Boom. Like a month later, it's like 3-4 times as many cases.
Everyone's got complacent. And Zlatan, over here, Sweden is always held up by the right-wing media as the epitome of what you need to do with regards to a pandemic. So could you enlighten the rest of us on what actually goes on over there with regards to restrictions and, they haven't had a shutdown?
Yeah, that's a short story. There aren't any.
Yeah.
So Sweden's been sort of they've been following that rule book that the EU used. They've been following the rule book that the EU wrote before Corona, which sort of said that, which was based on old viruses, not the new ones, like the COVID-19 virus. And one of the problems that we have now is that this is the different kind of virus, and Sweden's been following that rule book to the letter, but it just doesn't work on this type of a virus. So there aren't any restrictions. They are now, almost a year in, talking about getting some restrictions. It's too little, too late, mate. Like, I firmly believe that Sweden dropped the ball on this. So don't know what to tell you.
But it's not how it's being portrayed over here, mate. It's totally different. And it seems to be mainly right-wing publications that are saying, "Oh, look at Sweden, look at Sweden, look at Sweden."
Yeah,
And
all right.
I sit there and I say to people, I speak to a Swedish guy at least 4 times, a Norwegian who lives in Sweden, at least 4 times a week, and he says something totally different to what you're getting. So this is why it's great to have like the first-hand experience of.
This is the thing, though. I think that we should try to get Dr. Emma or Dr. Tobias on as soon as possible, because they could speak to this from a Swede's perspective. I am speaking as this as a foreigner living in this country, and I see that there are 30 times as many deaths in Sweden as in Norway. And that's quite a big number, 30 times as many deaths. So
And also not reported.
it is reported.
No, as in
Yeah,
in
yeah.
mass.
Okay, maybe not over there, but
Yeah.
there are 6,000 deaths in Sweden, and there's 270 in Norway. That's quite a big of a difference. And yes, we might. The Swedish government is saying, like, yeah, but this is going to even itself out as the pandemic progresses, as Norway starts easing up on the restrictions. And they are also saying that the cost of actually having a lockdown is going to be greater than the cost of
just
having
letting it go.
just letting it go, because people are going to get unemployed, no tax money coming in, the society's just going to fall apart, and it's just going to be a fucking shit show.
But isn't this
But-
where
but-
we need government to step up and actually say, do you know what? Look, everyone just chill for a few weeks and we'll cover you, right? We'll cover you because you've been paying for us for all this time.
I'm sorry.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm trying to make a fucking
Yeah.
valid point.
I'm doing it for the fans, man.
We do it on your OnlyFans.
Don't
Okay,
get our
yeah.
fucking stream taken down, knobhead. Fucking chill. I know it's funny,
I've
but
got.
yeah.
It's not.
Okay,
It's not
explain
funny.
it to fucking Google, because those are
Yeah.
the people that are gonna be taking our account down. Relax over
It's not-
there. Horny
Which reminds me,
bastards.
if anyone from Tic Tac is listening and want to sponsor the Bin podcast, feel free. We've got an advocate right there.
Yeah, no. The point that you were trying to make, and it's a valid point, mate, is that yes, it's been portrayed. I can see how they portray it in the right-wing media, because everything's been left up to the individual. Everything has been left up to the individual. There are no government sanctions. There are nothing. The factories, yes, they did close down, but not because they had to. It was because the rest of the world was closed down, and they couldn't get the parts they needed to finish whatever they were producing in the factories. You know, like Volvo, they had trucks standing ready on the assembly line, but they fucking couldn't. They couldn't get them off the assembly line because they couldn't get tires, because the tires came from abroad and there was nobody making new tires. So yeah, it's, I don't know. It's not all great.
Well,
Shit.
that's a nice gloomy way to end that particular subject matter.
Shit sucks everywhere. All this shit sucks.
It's all going to hell. We might as well get used to
Man,
it.
2021 better be fucking full of unicorns and ice cream, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
So we should just go.
Oh, really?
Next topic.
Oh, really?
Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo.
Yeah.
Don't play it, they'll take us down. Menu item number dos. Brenna.
So as we discussed, or as these guys discussed, the ballot boxes, the fake ballot boxes that were found in several counties in California, as well as around the country, there have been fake ballot boxes. They have found out that these were placed by the Republican Party.
What?
Surprise, surprise, of California, especially here in California.
Oh, I declare.
I know, big shock.
My pearls.
So first off, let's kind of review what the problem is here. So, so these ballot boxes were put up with some of them with the official tag of official ballot boxes, which were usually gray boxes that they're standing in front of things like post offices, churches, community centers, things that would seem as if they would have a ballot box.
Right.
So because these are unofficial ballot boxes, they are not known to be secure. Plus, you don't know who's handling them. As official ballot boxes, they are they're opened up by official ballot working for the county, and they open them up. It's a few times a day. They go in like every 3 or 4 hours. They'll go around to each one of them and then hand them to the registrar's office of the county, and ours is the Orange County. And you can track it. So they have the nice cool apps that you can track it. So these being not official means that these are not picked up by the ballot officials. These are usually taken by whoever happens to have the ballot, or the Republican Party, whichever one happens, which is you're unable to know if that is tampered with. And also, you have to sign over who's going to take it. Like whether or not somebody comes over to your house and says, I'm going to take your ballot to the registrar's office. Usually campaigns do this a lot. You still have to sign it over. So these ballots not being signed over means that whoever's handing them in had not been given permission to. So
Perfect.
that's kind of where we are. So now the California office of the district attorney and the Secretary of State. So we have Xavier Becerra and Alex Padilla have now gone and started investigating these boxes. So they basically have been going to court and subpoenaing the Republican parties, both of the California Republican Party and the various counties Republican Party, including ours. And now, right now, we have just yesterday that the courts have blocked the state from accessing these. So right now they have blocked the investigation into these unofficial or official ballot boxes, quote unquote, unquote. These are illegal. I just want to tell you, these are illegal.
What? I can't just make my own ballot box and just put it out in front of places? I'll drop them off though.
Look,
I promise.
If you were a member of the Republican Party, that's fine, because nothing will happen because these people are assholes. And let me tell you, voting really does matter. And not just for the president or your senator. Like, these are judges that people voted for. We vote for our judges here in Orange County and in California. We vote. People vote. But a lot of times there's no information enough so that you could choose who the best judge is. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't vote for your county elections. This is what happens when you don't vote for your representatives to your own state. This is what happens. So, you know what? You assholes who don't think that voting for local elections is important, fuck you. These people are doing shit that's illegal, and you're just sitting by and letting it happen because you voted for these people, or in some cases, didn't vote. Sorry.
So,
Off
Brenna, no, it's fine. Let's stay on that sentiment. So, how do you looking like maybe opening up some work camps or something for these
See, there it is.
people?
Didn't take long at all, did it?
Just peel the plaster back and then
Context
whip
and
it up.
intent. If you fucking watch the street, context fucking matters. You know, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because this is the most blatant fucking attempt at trying to manipulate a fucking election that we've seen. And they got caught red-handed because they were standing next to these ballot boxes that said official ballot drop-off point, right?
Yep.
And those things are geotagged. So anytime you post a picture on Twitter or Instagram, it's geotagged. They know exactly where those ballot boxes are.
Yeah.
They know exactly where they're supposed to be placed.
And this is what is supposed to happen in banana republics, right? This is not what is supposed to happen to one of the oldest democracies that we actually have today.
It's one of the youngest, mate.
Yeah, sorry, one of the youngest democracies. But we have looked to America for guidance and thought that like your system is democratic. Yes, it's got its issues with the superdelegates, with the two-party system, with the electoral votes and all of that, the electoral college. sorry,
Electoral
yeah.
college, yeah.
Yeah. It's got its problem, but at least you're having fair and balanced elections, even though the it can be contested if it's correct to use the electoral college. We can also have debates about that, but
There's enough of a legal system that we can actually decide whether or not actually work towards it.
But now all of a sudden, the people who have been stating for 4 years that the next election is going to be rigged tries to rig the election. And I asked the question, and you weren't here last week, and I'm going to ask it to you now, Brenna. What do you think they were trying to achieve? Because nobody would fucking believe that California, that has been a blue state, sorry, for the last 50 years.
20, 30 years, I believe it's been.
And that's where the shift from the Republican Party started pulling right and the Democratic Party started pulling left. So so it's always been kind of a leftist kind of state, California, as long as your country's been around. So what would have happened in your state if all of a sudden nobody knew about this and it all of a sudden turned red? Would you have just accepted that result by default?
So we actually have a lot of system in place in order to prevent that scale of voter fraud. And like we have stopped lots of that ballot harvesting, so to speak. There's we can track. We now have the technology to track everybody's ballot, so your ballot can be counted, or you can tell whether or not yours has been counted. And then each county counts theirs, and so on and so forth. And we also have the legal system in which to prevent mass voter fraud as that. Now, when I think of something like this type of unofficial or official ballot boxes, why they would be doing this, it's quite easy if you understand the campaign system, where now on the outside of our ballots we have to sign and write our names. in order to prove that that was us. Now, with that, you can go on, and every campaign you have to pay for it, but you have access to voter information, so you know who's registered as what. And so if you find out that somebody is registered as a Democrat, you know for a fact that person would most likely vote for Joe Biden or for the Democratic candidates. So then you can literally throw that thing away, or
You're
keep
muted,
it, or
Mikey.
have it lost. Right?
I lost that one.
You lost. So that means that you can now control that more Republican votes will come in. And I mean, yes, it's kind of a conspiracy theory that I have here, but if you think about it, it makes a lot more sense than just taking these ballots for no reason whatsoever, because you have to target certain people.
Yes, but wouldn't that be true the other way around though?
True. What do you mean?
So all the Republicans, because what was it called, the Lincoln Project?
Yeah.
Was that what's it called? Where the Republicans are going against Trump, voting for Biden just to
Right.
get, because they don't feel like the Republican Party is their party, and so on and so forth, right? So,
Can I just interject with a really silly query? Right, you said that California is a blue state, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor until 2011.
So.
And he was a Republican. So like.
But the other elected officials were Democrat.
Okay, no. I just remember him being a governor quite recently.
Okay, so the Arnold Schwarzenegger election was because of a recall of Governor Gray Davis.
A total recall.
And you see why Schwarzenegger got elected. It was a
he
recall.
terminated that shit.
I am done talking to you people about my state elections.
I'm leaving, but I'll be back. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's because you're a predator.
All right.
So if anybody else out there is going commando, just let us know.
I'm done. I can't handle this anymore.
No more true lies out of your fucking mouth, Trent. Oh no, Brenda!
She rage quit on us.
Brenda, come back.
No, Brenna.
Unless
Sorry.
you guys behave.
We're sorry. We are sorry. We are sorry.
I'm trying to explain the reason why we ended up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the last Republican governor, was because
Action hero.
Oh, no, you was going to say that.
I knew that. I kept it in. I kept it in. You did that.
Well, let us get a couple more. Let us get it out of our system. All right, guys, come on. All right, what else we got? Fucking.
You carry on, mate, and Brenna's going to make you the running man.
Yeah. This is good though, Brenna. We gotta throw some levity in here. Come back.
Are you guys done?
Probably not, but we'll shut up.
We are truly trying.
Yeah.
We're not trying.
Yes, we are.
We are.
Okay. So the recall election was against a Democratic governor, which means his cabinet is Democratic. Now, he went through a recall election, which then we ended up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which because it was the opposite. You know how we had, a very nice Democratic Black president, and everybody decided to go with a racist white Republican. That's kind of what happened here. It was like we had a Democratic governor, and then it switched over to a Republican governor, and then he got reelected.
The gummy bear of Candaconia.
So the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing was a fluke, and it should never have happened because he very much ruined our state, and we had no choice but to get a Democrat back in there. But yes, Democrats have been in charge for, it's been a wildly blue state for many decades now.
And was Gavin Newsom right after him?
No.
Okay.
No. So when it comes to this ballot harvesting stuff, it is incredibly illegal, and I condemn the entire situation. I don't care what party you are, that is illegal, and you should be punished for it. And this is something that happened in the 2016 election. There was a lot of this holding on to ballots, as well as the 2018 election. There was a lot of holding on to these ballots and losing them, right? Locking them in a closet, never seeing them again. But because we are now...
Where the fuck did they go? I left them here a minute ago.
Oops.
You know,
Sorry.
I put them in 2 stacks, the D's and the R's, and I cannot find that D fucking pile to save me. Damn, I think I lost the whole pile.
Especially when we were doing, as well, not just the mail-in ballots, but also the in-person voting. A lot of ballots ended up getting lost. It's kind of why I like to do the mail-in, because I can actually tell whether or not it was tracked. It was sent, right? But now that we're pretty much doing mostly all mail-in ballots, it's a lot easier for the Republican Party to control that, even though they've been screaming voter fraud. They screamed voter fraud with in-person voting. They screamed voter fraud with mail-in ballot voting, and now they are literally doing mail-in ballot fraud. So
just double your pleasure, double your fun with Double Mint Gum, sponsor of the Bin Podcast.
All right.
All right, but before we move on, you all attacked me because I said that the United States was the oldest democracy, and I actually went back. I Googled
youngest, one of the youngest.
No,
I think it is the oldest.
It is the oldest by 219 years. It's had a democracy with an executive, a legislature, and a voting branch. After that, it's Switzerland, New Zealand, Canada, United Kingdom, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, Norway, and then Australia.
Why are we called the mother of all parliaments then?
Because you didn't have elections, mate. You had a fucking nobility who was given titles and were allowed to sit in parliament. That is not a democracy, giving people seats to...
That doesn't make us twins, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You're such a prick.
Oh, do I have to come in here like a kindergarten cop and take care of you two?
Oh, no. I'm just so glad that no one made reference to Red Sonja. That was.
Oh no, Brenna, come back!
You barbarians!
Brenna, we're sorry, but it's Arnie. We got to. But it's time to take a swoosh swam to the mid-roll, baby.
All right. So, as you all know, I'm stuck with these people and I want to get out. So, the one thing that you can help us with is to sponsor us on Patreon.
Pay your ransom fee.
So, y'all will go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast. You will sign up. You will give us money monthly. So
Our approach has really changed over the last few weeks. She used to be so sweet. She was so sweet before, and I was just like, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna open your fucking laptop, okay?
Yeah.
Get your fucking debit card out. Go to www.patreon.com/thebinpodcast. Are you listening?
Oh, look what you've done.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's different. This is new, Brenna.
So,
Okay.
we want to thank we want to thank our Patreons. Now we're getting to a point where I don't have to read all this. So the more patrons we have, I don't have to spend so much time reading this list because we're going to have so many.
No, we're gonna make you do it every time.
No, I don't have
We're gonna take 35 minutes out of every
I
show
don't
for you to
have
read
time
the
for
3,000 different patrons we're gonna have probably this time next year.
time for that. I do not get paid enough for that. So let's go.
You get paid?
Right. What is this paid?
What are these monies we are talking about?
Precious.
We'd love to get into the black, but we have to buy a black pen, but that would probably put us back in the red.
Exactly.
We're gonna continue.
Thank you, Wayne. You're amazing.
Oh, Lord. Get a room.
We have.
We can't afford one.
We're gonna die.
You guys are so lucky I'm here in California. All right, we have Tons of Mice.
Hey,
We have Ryan,
what up, Ryan?
Ryan!
Ricky,
Ricky.
Ricky!
Miss Nana,
Hey, Miss Nana.
David,
David.
David.
Katarina,
Katarina.
Stuart,
What?
Puffalopagus, Austin,
Austin. I like Austin.
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 Austin,
Austin. He's a good friend of mine, Austin.
and Richard.
Richard?
Ricardo.
So patreon.com/the Bing Podcast and help me out, please.
Pay Brenna's ransom.
Yeah.
Swish swash swoosh.
That was Brenna's hostage video over and done with.
Read the cards.
Have you noticed why Brenna's always got a virtual background?
You don't know where I am.
Wayne's just sitting there. Read it. Read
Yeah.
it.
God.
Brenna's in my bin shed right now.
Nobody's asking questions about Cortez on screen right now, right?
Mm. Oh, it's a good show. Good show.
Doorknob Head is hilarious, and he says, "What is this list of people? A list of people the drones will come after if Trump wins again."
Yes.
Sorry,
the
that
drone-
was me.
The drone queen has spoken.
The drone queen.
There you go.
Ah,
Are we gonna do
I like
something? Are we gonna do something for Halloween? Are we gonna dress up?
it. You know I'm coming with it.
We can dress down.
No.
Big Driss Sherlock.
Big Driss
Okay.
Cumberbatch.
Let's lighten up this topic and talk about immigration policy.
Yes. We just did a segue. Yeah.
Oh, that was all
That light-hearted topic.
that was all I
The
got.
little
No.
scamps coming
Before
over
we
here.
do that, before we do that,
Yeah, let's put a little bit of a break between the two.
yeah.
So it's getting a
Why
bit.
don't we give ourselves a little toast? I think we are at 39. Next week we're at 40. Mikey, the absolute fucking hero that is, just finished my OBS training today, which means that my show will be up and running in about 2 weeks' time. A lot of it will be pre-recorded as soon as me and Brenna can get our schedules together so she can show me how to video edit because
boy.
I fucking suck at it.
Oh, that's what it is. Video edit.
You notice me and Wayne don't get about that when no one else is around.
No. Brenna wouldn't
Charles when he's sofa like this with his kilt.
Brenna wouldn't touch me with a set of pliers except for to beat me to death with them.
I'd hand her them.
Yeah.
I'd sharpen them.
Or pull my fucking fingernails out or something.
You're giving me great ideas.
I was like, I don't know if you should start or stop. I maybe stop.
So, no, but what I want to do is like to all our patrons, to everybody who support us, to ourselves, and to my lovely colleagues on this podcast. Cheers to you. And may we have a lot less depressing things to talk about in 2021.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll drink to that. Skull.
Cheers.
Now we fight.
Now let's talk about lost children in foster care.
Yes. I want to highlight this so I don't lose it. I'll do this.
You want me to pull it up for you?
I got it.
Oh.
Going. It's just it loads so slowly.
Before you go on about this, Joe Rogan had a guy on
Oh boy.
this week who's running for Congress in Texas, and basically the whole conspiracy theory of child trafficking stuff came up. And this guy's running for Congress, and he was proper. Joe Rogan had to pull him back. So please don't vote for him if you live in Texas.
So I'm glad that our show and me ranting about Joe Rogan finally got him to clean his fucking act up. Fucking not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because we've been
Jesus
bitching about
Christ.
Joe Rogan that he cleans his act up.
About time.
Yeah, Wesley Hunt is the guy. And Wesley Hunt couldn't really be a more apposite name for what I'd like to call him.
All right.
What would you like to call him?
Wesley?
Only Wesley I respect is Crusher.
Oh, you leave Will Wheaton alone.
Wesley Snipes type. Wesley Snipes. Come on. Snipes type.
What a tax dodging fucking reprobate.
Yeah, but he could jump a parachute and kick somebody in the face.
To be fair, he was double hard at Blade.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So now for the good news. So this article came across my Facebook feed. Thanks, Kay. I thought this was worthy of adding to the show. So the whole immigrant crisis that we had on the southern border, and Trump deciding to separate kids from their parents, and this whole rigmarole because he doesn't like brown people, right? We all understand that. That's blatant and obvious. But the migrant crisis isn't only his fault. It's the American foreign policy's fault. Our drug wars and our policies for the last 30 years is what completely destabilized that region. And that's why the cartels are in control of everything. And that's why it's horrible for those people to live there, which is why they're coming here in the first place. Can someone grab it out of our comments and drop it, or our private chat, and drop it in the thing for me real quick while I got this open?
Which one do you want? The LA Times one?
This is the Nation one.
Yeah, got it.
Just drop it in the chat
Yeah.
for me. Where's this part of it? So this really goes very in depth about how our American relationship to Central and South America has been a bunch of bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And where Trump comes in, did I miss it? Oh, there it is. So where Trump comes in is after we have completely fucked up this region, and it is our doing that the powers that be down there are the powers that they are. That's when he decided to separate children from the people seeking asylum from shit that America caused in the first place. So this part was especially poignant, and I want to bring this out. So it says here, oh, it looks pretty good on street. His early efforts to deter asylum seekers involved the infamous family separation policy, in which children who had arrived at the border were taken from their parents in an effort to create the sort of publicity that would keep others from coming. An international outcry and a federal court order brought an official end to that policy June 2018. At the time, the government was ordered to return such children to their parents. Right, we all remember that. Gotta give them back. But as it happened, the Department of Homeland Security proved largely incapable of doing so because quite often it hadn't kept decent records of parents' names or locations. In response to an ACLU lawsuit listing 2,700 individual children living without their families in this country, the administration acknowledged that in addition to named children, thousands more fell into that category, lost in what can only be laughingly be called the system. So they lost the kids. They didn't keep good enough records. They separated these families because they want to be this big macho tough guy, and now there's no way to fucking put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And these 2,700 kids most of them under the age of 5. So does a 5-year-old know their mommy and daddy's first and last name and what city they used to live in and all that stuff? Or
No.
if they're 3 or if they're 2, they don't know how to get back to their parents. And their parents, even if they try to approach things through the system any way that they can, the system doesn't know where they are.
Yeah.
They don't even know where to send them to find their kid.
Yeah.
Is this a bit where we're supposed to stand up and put our hands on our hearts and sing the Stars Spangled
Okay.
Banner?
No. Except for
No.
you. Except for you. Except for you.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Please do
No.
what else he did. Take a
I
knee like
can't.
that.
No. I was just.
Can
thought it
we
was a
in
good idea.
post just blur Jartan like from the waist down?
That's Brenna's job.
That's expensive.
Yeah, blurs are expensive.
Blurs are
Patreon.
Blurs are expensive.
Gonna just put a
Sure.
fucking bin logo over the top of it.
Actually, it's really easy. It's just the production companies will charge a lot. It's really easy. Anyway,
So thoughts and opinions about now they can't find these kids' parents. They can't rejoin these families.
it is disturbing that these children are now without their families. I mean, this is they're homeless basically. They're abandoned. They're orphans because if you cannot find their parents, they don't have any right that they can go to.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous and it is shit. These people are leaving countries of poverty and violence and drugs and you think that the best thing to do was separate them? No, that's illegal. Should I separate just random parents that the parents who don't wear masks out in public? Should I take their children away because that's illegal? Or against the policy?
It would be one thing to take them away, but then if you
have to lose them.
But then if you weren't able to then give them back. Yeah, Wayne.
Well, I thought it was just wavy.
I don't want you to feel attacked about this, but what do you expect from America when you had all of that footage of the caravan coming up and you had all these Trump supporters like, yeah, if I can get rid of them, build a wall and put them in cages? What do you expect? Because it's literally manufacturing consent for this kind of behavior. And like, from someone who lives outside of the States, looking at that and looking at the behavior and looking at the reporting and looking at, the vox pops that people were doing at the time, what do you expect? They don't give a fuck about these people. They never give a fuck about them. All they did was manufacture fear and hatred towards them. So when they got separated from their families and lost, no one give a fuck. No one give a fuck. And no one who had any kind of power or influence had the fucking the balls or the cojones to put an end to this and step in and go, this ain't happening. That's the problem that you have with America, because it's just pandering to this fucking constant bunch of like xenophobic wankers. They don't care about these kids. We're sitting here talking about these kids because I'm sitting here thinking about my kids. If I got separated from my kids, fuck me. Shit would be, shit would be going off.
It's John Wick time.
Yeah. No, it's man on fire time.
Yeah. I'm proper. I
Aren't you scared of all the collateral damage though?
Oh, Jesus fuck. Oh.
Like the rage that would wash over me, I couldn't even imagine. Because
if you were making a last stand.
Oh jeez, here we go.
Someone's got Wikipedia open.
He's got IMDb, I'm sure.
Can we cut his mic?
Yeah, I got you. No
No,
problem.
can we just cut him?
I'm done.
And I got into a tiff, a little dust up on that same thread on my Facebook, and the person kept saying, "Oh, well, they shouldn't have committed the crime." Okay, first of all,
The children?
the parents committed the crime, and now the kids have to
It's
pay
not
for it.
Not a crime.
So
by the way.
first of all, seeking asylum isn't illegal.
It's not
And
a
the
crime.
only way to seek asylum is to have boots on the ground. You have to technically be here to claim asylum in the first place. But in that review process where they decide whether your asylum claim is valid or not, and they take people's kids away, and then they say, "Cool, you do get asylum," or "Cool, you don't get asylum," and then
What's
not
the
being
age of
able to
legal
return,
responsibility?
well, and to not be able to return the children afterwards.
No, but what's
is
the age of legal responsibility in the States?
18
I know it may vary. It's always 18, yeah?
for the adult age is 18.
Yeah, no, but
but what-
at what age can you be sentenced for a crime?
Yeah, what age are you able to be tried as an adult?
Depends on what you look like, I guess. Because some 16-year-olds get charged as adults, and some 20-year-olds get charged nothing at all.
It's approximately 14 years old.
14.
Between
So
12 and 14, you can start being tried as an adult, depending
So
on the crime.
none of the kids in question can be classed as criminals in.
No.
They're not.
Yeah, that was my point. Sorry.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
They cannot.
the initial act isn't a criminal act in the first place.
It's not a that I think needed to be like beat into people a little bit more than a lot of this other rhetoric that happened. But when you seek asylum, if you trek across the countries, you're dragging your children there, that is not illegal. It is exactly how most of our families, our ancestors got here. Some of us were dragged here.
I'm about
in
to say not
chains.
everybody came voluntarily.
Some of us were dragged here in chains. Some of us had to leave. I know my family left because of one of the waves of Irish famine. Like they had to. They had no choice. And
Shut up, Wayne.
and so if you look at all these former immigration spikes, it was a requirement. They had no choice. When what is it, 1935 or somewhere, we had that spike in immigration from Eastern Europe because they were kicking out Jews. So we had that rise in like Polish immigrants. They had to. They were being beaten and killed. And so this is not the thing about this sick separating of these children is because they happen to be brown. They happen to be brown children.
And it played well with the base.
It was a beautiful look, right? You had this caravan of immigrants. By the way, we have that every year because they work here in California.
Yeah.
We need them.
Where is that caravan now? Oh, there's no cameras on them. Oh,
Yeah.
why is that? Oh, because there's no political
It was
point
that
scoring to be
look,
made.
right?
Yeah.
It was that
Is
look
this
of
why
all
your
these
gardeners have
people.
been so quiet today?
Shut up! I'm tired of you.
Wow.
Quit. Just stop drinking. Turn off the microphone and put on some goddamn pants.
Trousers. We call them trousers.
No, they're
That's-
pants.
No, pants are underwear to them
Yeah.
because they're
Well,
all backwards.
pantaloons.
Yeah. So like, if you look here.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh jeez! What has happened to us? We're not gonna make it to a year. We're so close, but we're not gonna make it. We're gonna self-destruct.
Far away with this
No,
far
we're
away.
done. We're done. All right.
No.
I've said my piece.
KRS sent settlers are not refugees.
Yeah, because when we're talking about, well, I think Brennan was talking about something slightly different when people were fleeing persecution. dire straits in where they're going. I don't think those people were coming over as settlers. They were really just leaving somewhere that was bad. But they're like the initial settlers. Yeah, they're not like the Pilgrims were not refugees.
No, they were conquerors.
I would say that we are not dealing in semantics. So now we are splitting words.
It's not semantics. Words have meanings, and we need to use the right words. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but a lot of the settlers came looking. They came from utter poverty. They came from.
Not the settlers. You had to have money to get over here.
No.
They sold everything.
Zlatan, let me
They
just
were
jump
on
in a little bit.
government contracts.
Let me jump in a little bit. I think what Zlatan is saying is correct. It is the land that you live in was already occupied.
Right.
So to say that they were settlers is not a semantic argument, as more invaders. Because if there were people already here and they you didn't get permission from them, then it would be an invader, surely.
Yeah. But we don't have to get bogged down on that. So I saw a John Oliver piece, probably about 2 months ago, talking about this exact same issue. And a certain person's name kept coming up who I couldn't fucking quite play. Betsy fucking DeVos. That lovely individual who is in charge of the fucking, what is she in charge of education?
She's the school woman.
Education.
Yeah, she's the, do you remember
The school woman.
do you remember her title, Brenna?
She's Secretary of Education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a Secretary of Education for the entire United States.
Yeah, she's Secretary of Education,
She's a cunt.
which she has no actual skill involved.
Well, she's
Education.
she's been
She wrote an article on
charter schools.
charter schools and private schools.
That's her soup du jour.
Every interview I've ever seen of her, she does that really annoying, like, Karen smile. Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Hey,
She's
Tim.
Sorry.
She's not
Hey,
smart.
Doorknob,
Anyway.
thanks for all your support in the chat. I really appreciate it.
Oh, David got it. Yeah, Secretary there. Let me take a little pause here. Just say hello to everybody that's in the chat. Okay, as always, Doorknob Head was in there. Tim Bristol, Flow State. I'm gonna get you on the show. Maybe next week, because I want you to have a conversation with everyone else. That'll be interesting. Let's see here. So Betsy DeVos kept fucking coming up on that episode when he was talking about these kids in cages, and then some dots started connecting. Let me add this to the stream. So Bethany Christian Services, an adoption center with financial ties to Betsy DeVos, has taken 81 immigrant children who were forcibly separated. Scroll down. Please don't lag. There we go. Who separated from their parents at the border. Most have had no contact with their families. They're charging $700 per child per night. This isn't foster care. It's state-sponsored kidnapping. And so after reading this, and this is from Snopes. I can post that one in there too. I think did I post that in the side chat? Can anybody post that for me? So people can follow
why
along?
do you have the deviants.com?
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, don't.
Shut your mouth.
Right, I've literally just had to turn my phone to Twitch because I can't see any of that chat. So
You can't see this on your laptop?
yeah, no, I can see that. No. You were mentioning people in chat, and I'm like,
Oh, okay.
hang on a minute.
But the DeVos family isn't directly responsible for what's going on there, but they are heavily invested in this same company that is taking kids from the border and putting them in quote unquote foster homes, and now no one can find these children. So if anybody in the chat or who watches this later, if you guys can find that this company is now being has been successful in giving these children back to their parents, by all means send me the links, please. I'd love to read them. But from what it looks like, as far as I can tell, the Secretary of Education is funding, has been funding, and several of her family members have served on the board and been vice president even, they're taking kids from the border, putting them in quote unquote foster care, and no one can find these kids? I need some fucking answers.
Yeah.
Because if the dots are aligned as they appear, then we have a huge fucking problem that our fucking government is trafficking children, and I have an issue with that.
Let's have a little thought experiment for a second. How would we feel if this happened anywhere else?
With the children and shit like that,
Yeah.
I'd feel the same, equally as outraged.
Well, I think it's
No,
happening.
okay, I'm not saying we. Okay, sorry. I'm going to rephrase it. How would the Republicans feel if this happened anywhere else?
Well, it would depend on who's in charge of the country or who's in charge of policy, right? Because they can't even get past the conspiracy theory of child trafficking that the Democrats are doing child trafficking. Like, they still haven't figured that shit out. And you know, it's bad if it's child trafficking through, what was the last child trafficking one? Because there's always these child trafficking, sex work, you know, these human trafficking going on, and a lot of people are outraged. It doesn't matter what side, right? Human trafficking is awful.
This should be a bipartisan issue.
It should, but we still don't have bipartisan support for human trafficking and stopping that.
It should be a human issue.
And and I'm surprised the UN hasn't gotten involved with what happened at the border. And I think it got a little bit too much attention, and that's what shut it down.
That is fear. That is fear.
Do you not think the UN have been defanged? When was the last time you heard the UN mentioned in any news report?
They are afraid to go against the United States because we hold the United Nations. They are here in the United States, and they won't do anything because they cannot go against their landlords, basically.
Mm.
And so that's what's going to happen. I agree. From the moment that these reports started coming up that these children were being separated, being basically jailed, and then all this torture that was happening with them, the spread of illnesses, the death, I said from the very beginning that the UN has to declare this
this is a human rights crisis.
It is, and they should have done that. And if we had done that, we would get a lot better attention and more people working towards this. Not just the ACLU, which they're great, but
I disagree.
All right.
The reason that I disagree was because it was useful for the administration at the time, and as soon as it was useful for the administration at the time, it became box office, which meant every media outlet was just jumping on this and saying, oh, look at this, it's going on, but no one was doing anything about it because everyone was just looking at it.
Right.
It's like a car crash.
Yeah,
everyone stares, everyone stares, but no one does anything about it. And that's why I think the UN didn't get involved, because like you say, Brennan, this goes on every year. And if it goes on every year, that means that the UN are looking at this every year, and it's not going to get any better because it's not getting any worse, if you know what I mean. So they're like, okay, well, this is the same thing that happened last year. What do you want to intervene with?
Right.
All of a sudden, there's more eyeballs on it, but it's the same thing that they've been looking at for the last, 5-10 years?
Yeah.
So if I can advocate and reach out to all the people associated with the UN, if you're watching this, get off your fucking ass and fucking do something with your goddamn dirty fucking lazy selves. Can we do something for the fucking kids for fucking once? Like this, like it shouldn't have. Oh, he's on the phone with him right now.
Yeah.
It's Kofi Annan.
Okay, cool.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. He was watching. He's gonna have a word.
Good. Glad to
Uh-huh.
fucking hear it. Next week, I'm probably going to bring in some more good news talking about Nigeria and their police.
Oh, that sounds like
Yeah,
good.
and SARS.
There's some wild shit that's been going on in fucking Nigeria while we've been
Nice.
focused over here. Some wild
Uh,
shit.
Yep.
But we got
Yeah.
we got one more thing left on the menu.
Woohoo!
But I gotta use the toilet. So
No, turn.
All right,
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't you even worry about it. I already took him off.
Thank you.
And let's
Oh.
hope he comes back with
He's gonna have no shirt on.
more.
He's gonna have his underwears on top of his head, and he's cartwheeling across the screen.
I can't. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
But this is
All right.
this is your last thing anyway, Wayne.
Yes, Wayne.
Yay! We're talking about England. Oh, well, actually, we are specifically talking about England. So,
pull up
You
the-
invented us, mate.
huh?
You invented us, mate.
I know,
So
Thank you.
somebody had to say it.
and you're lucky.
No.
Right. So,
We got rid of
Um,
your ass.
let me talk this up properly.
Look at him.
It's,
Look at him. He's gonna do it, Brenna. He's gonna do it live on air. This is gonna be. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I believe in him. I have every confidence.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Oh, so cute. He's learning.
This is happening real life in front of us. What the fuck are we gonna do about it?
I don't know. Rick,
Oh.
are we recording
Yeah.
There we go.
for
All right.
for posterity?
Right.
All right.
Oh.
Switch your screen so that I can bring it up live. There
Swish,
you go.
swash, swoosh.
Sweet swash. Look at.
Oh my god, it's real.
He done did it. Why are you still using fucking? Is that Chrome? Okay.
What?
good.
Chrome, you prick.
All right. Good.
Look, see down the bottom. Look. See that?
No.
Yeah.
The bottom's cut off. But okay.
All right. Anyway. Right. So this is a very good question. Will England go into a circuit breaker lockdown?
What's a
What
circuit
does
breaker lockdown? What's a
What does
circuit?
that
What's
mean?
a circuit breaker
That's a-
lockdown?
A circuit breaker lockdown is basically shutting down everything non-essential. Everything. So all hospitality. So
Just the refrigerator, basically. This
we're
is
not Americans. We're not
circuit
discussing.
breaker, right?
No, they have
Circuit
ice boxes. What do y'all have there?
breaker?
Yeah. Well, Jartan, all the
And the kettle. The kettle.
He puts his stuff in the lake and then just
You have
cut
the
all out
the kettle and the toaster. I
Anyway,
know
He's
these
got
things.
he's got his produce snow mound. He's got his meat snow mound.
No, you have to dry the meat. You have to dry the meat in the little shack because
I'm pretty sure Jartan gets his fish out of the Bifrost. But yeah, so basically what's going on is Scotland has gone into a circuit breaker where they're shutting everything down, all hospitality, schools for 2 weeks. Wales has done the same. Northern Ireland has done the same. Now that's 3 of the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom. And what's happening in England is we have a tiered system. And the tiered system is basically a nonsense because I live in the county of Essex. And Essex County has gone into tier 2. Let me show you what tier 2 is. It's not on there, but anyway, tier 2 is basically you're not allowed to meet with anyone inside their house. So if you're from one household, you cannot go to another household and meet. But
can't hang out with Scott then. That
No.
sucks.
But I can go to the pub and sit on a separate table to him and have a beer.
But you
Which is
can't go to
lovely.
his house and chill on his couch.
No, but I could if I was in my work capacity. If I was
Okay.
doing my job at his house, that's fine.
Okay.
But I can't then go to the pub and have a beer with him, even though I've been in his house all this time.
Right.
So the question is, a 2 or 3 week lockdown could ban household mixing and travel restricted to essential visits only. Okay, so this is from the Telegraph, I believe. So let me read it for the audio viewers. Pressure is growing on the government to
I'm
impose.
sorry,
a
read it
strict-
for who? I'm sorry, you said read it for who? Who? The audio viewers? Is that what you said?
Sorry, the audio listeners. Thank you. No, Mikey, I appreciate you picking me up on that
I'm
because
just
I would do the
wondering.
same. No, that's cool. You wait till you get your and you're wrong. I'm gonna kick the fuck out of you.
I'll be very conscious going forward.
Moving
Yeah,
forward.
he's like the
Oh, hello.
eraser.
Yeah. So pressure is growing on the government to impose a short-term circuit breaker lockdown in England in a bid to get rising coronavirus infections under control. Labour Party leader Sir Keir Starmer has called on the government to impose a 2 or 3 week circuit breaker to prevent a sleepwalk into a long and bleak winter. That's in quotes, sorry. Sleepwalk into a long and bleak winter. Yeah. He is backed by the government's scientific advisors, the NHS and the National Education Union, Britain's biggest teaching union. Now, this is the thing that is really frustrating. So Boris Johnson and his government have been told that this is the way forward. Wales have adopted it, Northern Ireland have adopted it, and Scotland have adopted it to a degree.
Mhm.
But he's given us a tiered system where each region is placed into a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 is medium risk, tier 2 is higher risk, tier 3 is like extra high risk or double high risk or whatever it is. I can't remember what it is. But let me describe to you what a circuit breaker is. An actual circuit breaker is automatic switch. Oh no, that's not what I need to read. This is the facts. Right, so our circuit breaker would mean pubs and restaurants and entertainment venues forced to close. Household mixing banned in areas where it is not already. People would be told to work from home if possible and warned not to take public transport unless necessary. Right? Now, the thing with the circuit breaker is I'm going to unshare my screen now so I can get back to you, Beckers. All right. So
Thanks.
the thing with this circuit breaker is basically saying that everyone just pause for 2 weeks. That's the gestation period of the virus. And anyone who's sick now will be able to recover, and we will prevent any further infections because we're using that gestation period and keeping everyone away from each other. But because Boris is so scared of big business and big industry, he wants everyone just to basically go back to work.
Right.
And you've got companies like in London where you typically have lots of people commuting into London. They're all working from home. Their employer is happy for them to work from home. It's safe for them to work from home, and they're saving money on the train fare. So why are the right-wing government trying to get people to go back to work? Purely and simply, it's because the people and vested interests own these big commercial buildings. They're not getting their rent.
Yeah.
So they need people in these buildings. They need people to come in. But the safe thing is do the circuit breaker. The science says do the circuit breaker. But because Boris will lose face, he's just trying to do everything he can to avoid it. Even though the other 3 nations that he doesn't control directly have done that.
And I've been saying that for a long time here in the States, is that we need a good 10 to 15 day, no one go anywhere for any reason. And I think that just that alone will sharply curtail any kind of further outbreaks, just because the people who are sick will be able to get treatment, and the people who are sick but don't know that they're sick can become sick, and now they can start to quarantine. But unless you have that delineation where you can stop people from interacting with each other for a minute to actually get a tally of who is and is not sick, by day 8 you're gonna know who is and isn't sick.
Yeah,
it'll be very obvious.
No. So a bit of pushback, and I'm gonna play a bit of devil's advocate as well.
Oh, what? You? Never.
Can we
God.
where's the mute button?
I got it. Don't worry
Come on, we're a democracy here. We're a young democracy. let him have his figure of speech. Then we'll dox the shit out of him and fucking shadow ban him.
No, he hasn't muted me. I'm just fucking.
I know.
So what? So no, you wouldn't know, would you? Because a certain percentage, and I don't have my numbers straight, so I'm not going to say what, but a certain percentage, especially the people between 18 and 35, that we know of, and a lot of kids as well, don't have symptoms. They carry the
Asymptomatic.
virus, and they're asymptomatic. And the article that I read, that I can't find any supporting facts for, so I'm not going to use that number.
Yeah, I think you'll
Says
probably
that-
find it on Infowars.
Me and
Making the frauds here.
what is his name again?
Oh,
Alex
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Mm.
Yo, shout out to Alex Jones for fucking giving so many podcasters so much fuel for so long. He's really just like a gold mine that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, don't drink the water; it turns frogs gay.
That's why I
Um,
drink rum.
That's why I don't drink water at all. Fucking hell, it's got beer. I think there's some water in beer, isn't it?
It's got to be one of the contributing ingredients.
Yeah. No, so the point I'm trying to make is, no, so you wouldn't know after 8 days, would you? Because a certain percentage of the people affected by the virus would be asymptomatic.
Well,
That's why the proposed circuit breaker is 14 to 21 days.
and even if it was just the 8 days, so there's that many people that are asymptomatic. That's a smaller percentage than all of the rest of the people that do catch COVID. So it's
Also, the idea is to prevent the spread.
right.
So even if you're asymptomatic and you're locked inside for 2 weeks, you're not going to be spreading it to other people. So that's the flattening the curve.
Yeah, but
That
we
who's
had at
paying-
the beginning.
But who's paying? Well, who's paying? Who's
We got
making sure?
everybody that in all the countries that we currently represent. We all got enough coin to fucking finance that.
Yeah,
We all got
we're
enough
pretty good.
If we can find money to drop the mother of all bombs on places, we got enough money to fucking keep everyone
Oh,
shut down.
was
for a
that
little bit.
England that did that?
No,
Yep.
No, was
Yep.
it Sweden?
Yeah, it was.
I'm
England.
Which
being
country was it?
hyperbolic.
It was.
I'm being
It
hyperbolic.
was England. Yep, you were right
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
England. Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah. And I was looking at us as a collective. All right, so why don't you fucking Norwegian, Swedish necking? Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
not Swedish. I just fucking live here, dude.
I said Norwegian, Swedish.
Yeah, but I'm not Swedish.
Norwegians.
Norwegians.
Right. Why don't you
I like
fucking
that.
start your necking?
I'm
I'm
a
sticking
Norwegian
with that.
from Norwegia.
He's Sweden.
Sweet.
Vija?
Norwegian.
I'm gonna make you eat that sock, mate. Fuck off.
Fucking Norwegian.
No, let's get really bad. You Danish
No,
cunt.
Yeah,
Oh
but-
no.
Well, he's drinking Carlsberg.
Oh, now he's gonna leave. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. See how it
See?
feels.
Now we know how to make Zartan rage quit.
Don't call him Dutch. That's not fair.
He's fucking probably
Danish?
finished. He's probably
Danish?
finished anyway.
Danish.
Oh,
Danish.
A really good comment. A really good comment from the chat. Eat that sock. Good source of protein. That is. Thank you, Doorknob Head, with the ever insightful wisdom. Good protein. in
fiber,
sock.
by the way.
No,
It's
but it
fiber.
wouldn't work. All right, so it wouldn't work.
Anyway.
We've tried the lockdown. It wouldn't work.
Well, here. This is what I was gonna say, and then Brenna jumped in. But just like
Oh,
like my cloth.
Fine.
Oh, I'm not throwing you under the
I
bus.
have no-
I'm just bringing us back to the time.
That's okay.
in the
That's okay.
conversation.
I'm the only woman in this. And,
Oh,
and,
here-
Oh,
okay,
yeah. Pulling the woman card.
Oh, you're just gonna
bitches.
slam dunk me with this woman card.
Yeah,
My
look
bad.
at me,
Brenna.
Nunny.
Just being pushed to the side.
Well, as
like
an
I
ally,
always-
I can step to the side and
Mm.
Pass it.
All my bits are on the inside.
pass it. Never mind. I'm just gonna talk now. Jesus Christ, Wayne.
He went all the way there.
Jesus. But it's
I
just
love
like
it.
it's just like if you're not wearing a rebreather and like the complete hazmat suit, you're not gonna stop. Like there's still a percentage chance to catch COVID, right? Unless you're wearing the full hazmat gear with a rebreather and like your own oxygen tank, right?
Oh, I'd love to do that.
But that's the one way to be sure you're not going to get it, right? And then you have to properly decontaminate and take all that stuff out. But everyone's being asked to wear like the cloth or paper mask because it's a way to stack the odds in our favor. So yeah, there might be some people who are asymptomatic that still get out and they still might spread it. But that double, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say doubles, but it definitely increases our chances of slowing the spread down if these people are trapped in their homes.
Okay, but even if we did all of this and we locked people in their houses, what about all the women who has to be locked into houses with abusive husbands?
They should be able to be locked up somewhere else.
Wow, that got dark really quick.
No, that's a common argument.
Yeah.
Or like that's a common argument.
It's a
some
common
people-
But the
argument.
children were also like they're safer in schools.
I'm
but-
just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
I think it's a bullshit argument, but I'm just playing out the argument. So let's stay with it.
I mean, it's the same thing where my company is donating $50 million towards feeding kids because
So keep ordering Google Eats. No, what was it? Uber Eats?
yeah, shut up. You
What
fucked
the
up.
hell is
You
Google
stepped
Eats?
on.
I don't
you
know.
Stepped on.
Google's gonna
get your
add
stuff from
another
Google Eats.
service. Google Eats.
If you're ordering from Google Eats, you're gonna wait a long time for that food to show up because it doesn't fucking exist.
Go to Google
Fake
Deliver
Eats.
news. Fake
Google.
news.
He's gonna go
Go
to.
to
He's gonna start up his own GoogleEats.com, and everyone's just gonna be ordering food. He's gonna be taking the money.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like the deep dish pizza
Google.
that doesn't exist either, right?
Eats.
but like I was saying, so
That's interesting.
my company has donated all this money to help feed kids who need.
I didn't know you had a company.
Shut up, you. who these kids rely on school for meals.
Yeah.
Told you I'd get you.
So the problem is, why are our children relying on school to feed them? So other failings in our society can't be reasons to not protect ourselves against the pandemic, because whether or not the pandemic was here or not, we'd still have that same problem.
Yeah, but you're not answering the question though.
I am answering the question. That problem has already been here. But that's not the problem that this addresses. So I can't address a problem that isn't attempted to be solved. So if I'm trying to like change the oil in my car, you can't talk to me about the subwoofers in my car.
You have a Mitsubishi, you don't have subwoofers, but okay.
I do have subwoofers, and I actually have 4 doors as opposed to your fucking unicorns and ice cream chopper you got running over there.
Fuck off.
I got 2 12s. I'll put them on the Instagram.
Okay, no, but all right.
Google Eats delivers pics of food. Dutch food.
No.
Fucking tons of mice is a fucking assassin in them chats though.
Yeah.
I think that's a new project for us to do.
Google Eats.
And it's just
Google Eats.
somebody pays for a meal, and then all we do is send them the pictures of that.
Yeah.
We'll go out and buy it for ourselves.
And we'll go out and buy the food, and then we'll send you a picture of us eating it.
Or a video.
Are you happy now? Google it.
That was delicious.
Yes, it was.
I'd
very
order
good.
it again.
Thank you. Order it again. I'll write a favorable review.
I just had an issue with my laptop there.
Oh, you look at him stunting. My laptop.
Laptop.
It's better than me phone, isn't it?
La 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 la.
And Kay brings up a good point. Kicking evictions a few months down the road clearly wasn't enough, and that's the other thing that we can probably end-ish on is the fact that Trump's holding the second round of stimulus money because they want the Republicans in the Senate want the stimulus bill to include a lot of financial incentives for rich people, and
Which is perfectly normal for them. Like
and the Democrats ain't going. They're saying no, you can't have it.
And And look what happened the last time that we had the stimulus, in which places like the airlines were sort of, Delta and American Airlines, and what happened to them? They fired a bunch of people.
Next day.
They
next
fired
day.
them.
Yeah.
They didn't create the jobs. They didn't save the jobs. They didn't do it. Stop making these big corporations acting like moral people. They're not. They're corporations. They want one thing. They want money.
That's what they're designed to do, is to just
The money should go
take
to
money.
the people. They
Yeah.
should go to us. It just should go to our pockets because we're the ones that need to spend the money.
And that and how many and how many businesses, because that's a common right wing trope, is if we shut everything down, then what about these businesses? Well, how about the fact that y'all should have fucking released this money a while ago, and everybody would have had that extra little $1,200 so they can go out and be patrons to all of these small businesses and get Larry the carpenter to fix the step that squeaks or something like that. Well, when they have that extra money to get those things taken care of, then those small businesses are better fetted against such dire straits. And if we just continually hold up shit because we're not taking care of billionaires, we look like a bunch of assholes. That's what this organization looks
who
like.
has the greater propensity to spend money? Those who have none, or those who have all of it?
Oh, the people with all the money clearly spend all their money because that's why they have all the money. They always spend their money. That's why they have big piles of it.
I have said this for a while, that the cheapest people ever are rich people.
Yep.
They do not spend their money, and there's a reason. That's
sure
why
you
they
wanna go
have
their
the
way?
money.
They like collecting it. They love collecting it, and they love finding ways to take that money and make more money. They do not care about the employees. They do not care about the small businesses. They want you gone because that means more money for them.
Yeah.
So stop giving these big corporations these giant tax breaks. Like Amazon does not need a tax break. They need to pay more taxes.
What did they make, like $6 billion last year?
Yeah. Jeff Bezos is like worth $1 trillion.
Let me run this theory by you. This is my thesis.
Yeah, but I wasn't done.
We are playing the biggest game of Monopoly, but with billions and billions of players.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Right.
I was wondering if you could say that again. That is, you caught it though.
The parties.
But the problem is,
And the billionaires.
with the game of Monopoly, you sit there and the money only goes in one direction, and then what happens? Someone fucks the board up.
So someone loses a front tooth. I ain't paying you shit for landing on Park Place. Got 86 hotels in that bitch. Fuck
Yeah.
Park Place, is that like
No.
Park Lane?
Park Place? That's like
Is that like Park Lane in London or Mayfair?
that's what it's called, a Monopoly. Is it called something different over there?
For fuck's sake, we invented the game, you absolute cretin.
Okay, so what Boardwalk and what?
No, it's Park Lane and Mayfair.
Okay, so it's not called that here in the States. And I'm pretty sure Milton Bradley made that and it's an American game. So fuck you.
No, it's English. It's Waddington's, by the way. And
I'll be Googling.
what's the cheapest place?
Mhm.
Baltic Avenue.
Oh yeah, we got Old Kent Road.
Old Town Road. I love that song.
Old Kent Road.
Is that the remix?
No.
Oh.
Old Kent Road, go and give it to you.
Gonna take these taxes down the Old Kent Road. Jesus
All right,
Christ.
but okay, so we've gotten to a point where we've locked in about 1 billion people in their homes. Somebody needs to bring them food.
Okay.
Mikey.
Mikey's on that.
Mikey's all about the lockdown.
Yeah, and Google Eats won't fix it.
So you're saying I can't just email somebody a picture of a delicious steak and that doesn't sustain them for the day?
Yeah,
You see,
I'm
this-
sorry,
this-
mate.
This is where we've gone full circle. Because Mikey Famine is avoiding famine. He's going to go and deliver all the food to
I
everyone.
knew it was
Yeah.
coming. He had a famine joke when Brenda said something about her family leaving Ireland. and then his eyeballs started shooting back and forth. I was like, "Shut up, Wayne!" And he just started chuckling.
No, the reason I was chuckling is I looked over to my left and there's a bag of potatoes,
Oh.
and I was just like,
Oh, see how Wayne is. Just wants
and
to
I was
rub it
going
in.
to lean over and grab it. Oh no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
Alright,
we can't
well-
make fun of everybody's last name. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Make fun of mine, please do.
I
If
don't
could-
even know
if I
what
could
you're
fucking
up to.
say it, then
I
I'd probably have
don't
better
know.
jokes for
I
it.
don't know.
I don't speak Klingon.
I
Of course you do.
Kapla!
do.
Oh, and
Oh,
we
I
need
just have
change
to
your-
get up.
No. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
he's wearing pants. Thank God.
Fucking
Life's-
hell.
Brain change.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
give
my
me a
God.
heart attack.
I
Can't do that.
I'm getting
You can't
dizzy
do that.
from you
You
just
can't do
fucking
that.
raising my blood pressure like that. Jesus fucking Christ.
That was on purpose. He wanted to see our
You tried to
reaction.
take me out. Well, I think that's a good spot to wrap. What do you guys think? After show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do that one.
Definitely.
I got shit to do, but this was fun. This was a good one.
This
I
was a
liked
good one.
our
Good bands.
All right. I have a new segment that I'm gonna include called "Say What You Gotta Say."
Oh.
I ain't really got shit to say today. You put me on the spot.
All right, Brenda, say what you gotta say.
Vote.
Wayne, back at you.
Do you like me kettle? This side.
And it matches with the toaster. Like this is the most British thing that you could possibly do. You
It's
have
not a happy accident. We do
kettle
it on purpose.
and the toaster are the same. Ugh. Thank you.
That's how we roll.
So y'all get down over there. All right. Is that your final word?
No, cunt.
All righty. Mr. Pants.
Yeah, don't drink, don't smoke. It's not good for you.
And my final word for this 39th episode of the Ben Podcast is, by all means, please go to www.patreon.com/the Ben Podcast. Sign up for some tiers. We're almost at that $100 goal, so we can start getting some of these other shows that we have planned out there for you guys. Another housekeeping note, we will stop streaming to Facebook January 1. They do a great job at taking our money, and they don't do a great job at spreading our message. So we've decided to go elsewhere. And on that,
Take our money and leave.
exactly.
Facebook are effectively our Johns.
Yeah, at this point. So we will see you guys in the after party. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And
Unicorn and ice cream.
WAP.
Oh no.